Hi, I'm Angela Lanzillo. I work here at VCM, Vineyard Complementary Medicine. I'm one of the PT assistants. I'm going to be talking about scapular stability training, shoulder impingements, and the postural defects that occur from that happening. One of the major reasons people get shoulder impingements, it could be the result of an injury, of a rotator cuff tear, traumatic event, cumulative, where it builds up. But the treatment is relatively the same. So what scapular or lack of scapular stability looks like? A normal movement pattern. When the shoulder raises, elevates up, the shoulder blade should pull down. In a poor movement pattern, when the scapular stabilizers aren't firing properly, we lift and we look like this rather than this. So the exercises, I'm going to start with 3 of them, are designed to restore that movement pattern or the postural defect that is either the cause or the effect of the impingement syndrome. So the first exercise I'm going to have you do is just start by stretching the upper traps. Is the upper traps shoulder or is it neck? It's both. What I want you to do is lock down that shoulder. When that shoulder is locked down, you're going to do an active stretch. You're just going to lengthen that upper trap right into there. I would suggest you do a couple sets of 10 on the affected side especially, but it doesn't hurt to do both sides. Making sure that that shoulder doesn't pop up. So after you've done a couple sets of 10, then we've lengthened those upper traps, I'm going to have you open up the chest. The pecs tend to get really tight, pull that shoulder forward, perpetuates the poor movement patterns. I'm going to have you start with shoulders back and down, just opening up the chest, touch the tension, back off. Touch the tension and back off. It's not a long hold, it's just going to be about opening up the chest muscles. Now that we've got the upper trap lengthened, the chest opened, we're going to start with just firing those scapular stabilizers. Shoulder blade retraction, pinching the shoulder blades together and down without shrugging in the ears. The most important thing when you're doing those is that you don't creep up in the ears. We're trying to avoid that shrug, and we're trying to reinforce everything I just talked about. Lengthening the upper trap, opening the chest, firing those stabilizers. Those are the beginning exercises to starting to restore that proper movement pattern of not shrugging when you move, but depressing the scapula. Once you've mastered those 3 for a few days, pain starts to lessen. I'm going to bring you to intermediate level exercises. I'm going to have you do a little rotator cuff strengthening. Shoulders back and down always, exaggerating that posture. The posture we strengthen is going to be eventually where you feel the strongest. External rotation. I would start with a couple sets of 10, building up to 2 sets of 15, eventually 3 sets of 20, making sure you don't go into that poor movement pattern when you're doing the exercise, keeping the shoulder blades back and down. External rotation, slow on the return, rolling right into advancing those shoulder blade pinches we did earlier. This time I'm going to do it with a little resistance, rows. So from shoulder blade pinches with a little resistance. Really reinforcing that together and down without shrugging into the ears. The last exercise